everyone, Mark the Movie Man here. Welcome to the Final Cut. So glad you could join us today. And yeah, we've got a number of reviews on deck, so we're just going to get right to it and take a look at A Fragile Nest. It is brought to us by filmmaker Matthew Pillisher, who pretty much did everything behind the scenes on this story of Tess, who is returning to her family home after the death of her father to help get things in order and try to reconnect to some people that she kind of cut herself off from. You see, she suffered a tragedy as a child that involved her, that ended up getting her committed to an insane asylum. And after that, she became a drug addict and she kind of left town and people didn't want to associate with her. And she just cut herself off from the rest of the folks as well as she tried to get everything straight. Well, now she's back at her childhood home, not only trying to get things in order with her parents' home, but also try to get things in order with her relationships of people she was with when she was younger. But her inner demons keep haunting her, and that past keeps coming back to remind her of her past transgressions. And we see the difficulties Tess has trying to move on when other people won't let her. Yeah, A Fragile Nest is deemed as a psychological thriller, and while it does have thriller elements, I would say there is far more dramatic elements in this film than there are thriller moments. Now, that's not to say bad by any means. I think this is a really well-constructed story that Matthew has done with pretty much no budget. You just have a group of people here who love film who are putting this story together, and it's a bittersweet story. Tess is played by Rachel Fetcho, and wow, her performance was really, it was sympathetic. You felt for her. You felt you were pulling for her. You were really frustrated for her when people just were being frustrating back to her, even though we know there's a history. You know, you felt all of that in Tess. And I loved that performance. And maybe it's part of the cinema verite, as they would call it, the kind of documentary style way it was shot, because of course, very little to no budget with this. Maybe it added that extra human element. I'm not sure, but you just really feel for Tess. And a lot of that is thanks to Rachel's performance. Matt gets in front of the camera as well as Tess's friend Willie, which has, it seems like a odd relationship there as well. Willie is close to Tess. He's trying with Tess, but at the same time, there's just a little bit of friction there as well as there are with some really long-term friends. So interesting dynamic between these two and seeing them interact, and definitely cause for some tense moments. There are flashback moments in here where we get to see what Tess went through, not only in the asylum, but that traumatic event that happened when she was a kid. And then there's a twist near the end that I didn't quite see coming, and I appreciated that quite a bit. I liked that. And yeah, there are very few head-scratching moments in this. For what it is, this film really does a lot, and this is partly why I really like to support indie film, is just because of films like this. There is a lot of raw talent here, and while the film is rough around the edges as far as the production look and such, they do a lot here. And I think if you're looking for kind of like that kind of documentary type of style story with a bit of a twist that's a human element, character driven, then A Fragile Nest you'll want to check out for sure. I'll put as much details as I can down below, and if you have seen A Fragile Nest, as always, love to hear your constructive comments on the films that we review here. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We are that close to hitting our goal of 3K subs or more before the end of 2024. Can only do that with your help. And for those that have already clicked the like thumbs and all that, thank you for your support. And until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.